Whether an Olympic champion or a school level athlete, everyone who attempts an all-out sprint will follow the same general pattern. To demonstrate this, we will look at the velocity curve generated as an athlete performs a 100 metre sprint, where velocity or speed is shown on the y-axis and distance is shown on the x-axis. After reacting to the gun, all athletes will accelerate rapidly, eventually reaching their top speed, shown as the highest point on the curve, between around the 30 to 50 metre mark. Slower runners and most juniors will reach their top speed a little earlier. The athlete will hold their top speed for between 10 to 20 metres before their speed starts to gradually decline as they head to the finish of the race. The degree to which the athlete maintains good running form will affect this decrease in speed, but even in an Olympic final, runners will still lose velocity towards the end of a race. The first section of the speed curve describes the acceleration ability of the athlete. Technique in this phase will be characterised by low body position, vigorous arm drive, and longer ground contact periods. It is accepted that muscular strength and power have a strong influence on the initial acceleration of the athlete. This will often be a limitation for very young athletes who have low levels of strength and power. The middle of the speed curve describes the maximum velocity or top speed of the athlete and is characterised by a more upright sprint posture, with ground contact times becoming shorter as stride frequency increases. The final portion of the speed curve describes the speed endurance qualities, which will be extended in distance for the 200 metre sprint. The most decisive factor in successful performance in the 100 metres is the athlete's maximum velocity. To win an Olympic gold medal in the men's 100 metre event, an athlete would have to have a top speed of around 12 metres per second or 43 kilometres per hour. At the junior level, a runner who is able to run the 100 metres in around 11.3 will have a top speed of between 9.5 to 10 metres per second, whilst a 12.5 second 100 metre runner will have a top speed of 8.5 to 9 metres per second. While the 200 metre event requires a higher level of speed endurance than the 100 metres, top level performance is still not possible without possessing good top speed. Accordingly, a coach of junior sprinters should spend most time on developing maximum velocity capability rather than event-specific skills such as block starts or finishing techniques. The speed or velocity of a runner is determined by their stride length multiplied by their stride frequency. For example, an athlete with a stride length of 2.2 metres and a stride frequency of 4 strides per second will have a top speed of 8.8 metres per second. Finding the optimum balance between stride length and stride frequency is a key aspect of sprint coaching. However, sprinters come in all shapes and sizes, and their strengths and weaknesses will show in the stride patterns they exhibit. Stride length is the distance the body is projected through the air with each stride, and may vary from just under 2 metres to over 2.5 metres for senior athletes. Although stride length will be affected by the height of the athlete, strength and flexibility around the hip are particularly important. A flexible and strong hip complex will allow a sprinter to optimise stride length without adversely affecting stride frequency. Stride frequency will usually range from between 4 to 5 strides per second, depending on the individual. The time taken for each stride can be broken down into the support phase, when the foot is in contact with the ground, and the flight phase, when the body is moving through the air. Many common faults in sprint techniques relate to spending too much time in the support phase and hence reducing the stride frequency and ultimately speed. Ironically, when athletes strive for longer or more powerful strides, they usually end up reducing their speed due to the longer ground contact periods or longer flight times caused by excessive vertical oscillation. If a coach has a basic understanding of the relationship between stride length and frequency, then they are in a very good position to help young athletes maximise their running speed. Apart from improving reaction time, block technique, and dipping at the finish, all improvements in running performance must relate to changes in one or both of these factors. When explained in these terms, the task facing the sprint coach would seem an easy one. Simply improve stride length or stride frequency and the athlete will get faster. However, it will require great skill and initiative from the coach to help the athlete improve in these areas without burdening them with an excess of technical detail. Ways of developing these skills will be addressed in the coaching techniques section.